Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Spartan, 7 Days to Die. Back with another episode. I have been working very hard at this new build, diligently working away wee hours in the morning and night. Seems as if we have a wandering horde here. I've seen enough of those to last me. Wandering hordes and screamers. Take you over here to the new build in just a moment and show you what I've been working on. This new build, this is not something that I felt like would be worth documenting, because I did document the first tier of what I was doing, and every tier beyond that was exactly the same. So I felt like it would be a bit boring or monotonous to watch me dig and build a tier, dig and build a tier. So I've just kind of done this on my own time. We're only a couple days away from another horde, and so I told you we would do it in a wood shack, and I would not have a fallback point. So we're gonna do that. Absolutely gonna do that. We're gonna have a point here in the next, probably tomorrow's episode, where we're going to be upgrading a shack somewhere in the local area. Finish off these last couple so they don't fall down into my base. Get some practice with the old single shot bolt action rifle. So here's what it looks like so far. Probably doesn't look a lot different from the last time you saw it. Other than, well, I guess probably it does a little, because I've upgraded the rebar to concrete. I've gone ahead and done that. I'll take you down in here, make sure there are no more coming before I do that. Clear all around. I'm just about to take another trip back to the hub city, drop off another load of stone and iron. So we're going to need a lot of spikes. Still have a couple hundred spikes left over from our last decent sized build, and why did I pick up my frames last time? I do not know, but anyway, so it's coming together. It's it's becoming a bit fatiguing right now at this point. So I figured I'd add you all into the equation, change things up, talk a little bit while I was doing what I'm doing. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, every tier is the same from bottom to top. Looks a little something like that. If you notice here on the map, we're at -50. So we're only 7 away from bedrock. And our next step, once we get this tier done, I thought about doing one more tier, but I want to leave myself a comfortable space in here for the base. We haven't started working on the base yet. We've just been working on the defenses. And so once I get the get all of this finished up, boy, I don't know how I left those out up there. Looking here at some rebar that I left out. Certainly don't want to do that. Oh, I don't have any rebar on me either. I'm going to put a wooden frame in here so I remember where those are located. I don't think there should be any others, but I did get a little fatigued when I'm doing this over and over and over and digging out, because I'm digging one tier out at a time. I dig a tier out, I put the frames in place, and I dig another tier. And of course, also I had to start putting the back tier. I had to start upgrading it to concrete to hold the weight out this direction. And some of them I went 4 wide with the wall, like this one that's up above, I guess. So I'd have a 2 gap behind the pillars, which is not going to be needed. I just need, I'll show you this one up here, and I'll explain to you why I did what I did and why it looks that way. Hopefully we'll get ourselves a a way up and out here soon, but it's a lot of work. I know it probably looks like it's close to finish, but I'm probably not even halfway done with this build. It's a long ways to go before I'm finished up. But right here, and I'll have an entrance behind each one of these tiers, maybe on all 4 sides. I don't know that yet, but I thought about making a tunnel system or a hallway system that goes around each tier. And that'll be another thing I probably won't document just because it's a lot of digging. But anyway, I left this one open so I could get in here and behind, and then the rest of them I'll do the same. I just wanted to put this up to give me an idea of what each one will look like. But anyway, this is what it is, and it's slowly coming along. Every time I do finish a base, I'm like, oh, this is my swan song for Alpha 15. And then I build another base, and I'm like, well, maybe this one's going to be the best one, you know? So I don't know. Almost fell off there. Every time I think I'm done with big builds, then here comes another one. This one's been fun. You know, I find it relaxing to dig and to build, so it's not a big deal for me, but I just didn't think this was worth documenting for the most part. I did, I guess, document some of it at the start, but anyway, haven't figured out which house I'm going to upgrade yet. I just spotted that one down there an hour or 2 ago, and I was thinking maybe we do that one. Certainly going to take back all the iron. Tell you what, we can throw this out. The repair kits we can put in here, and the bullets. We're not going to need the bullets of the gun. Let's stick the wood on our belt. Well, we can take the most in one trip back. Get all of our iron, because we are going to need tons and tons of iron. Tell you what, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's get the most amount of sand that we can carry back with us as well, so we can get some more cement going. There's nothing but building supplies in there. Okay, we could dump that. And do I have some coal here? 300 there. Is that all that I had? A couple little nodes down in there where I had some coal. But anyway, that's it. That's what I've been up to past couple days. You notice, like I said, we had Horde Day, and then there's this episode, and it's almost Horde Day again. I've just been working away hours and hours on this new build, trying to get it all finished up, so we can test it out against a Horde. But once again, I'm a long ways away. I know it looks close to being completed, but we're many, many hours away from me finishing that. So, I hope the video does not skip a lot on you today. Everything's turned back up to Ultra, but I have some processes running in the background, trying to get today's episodes all processed and uploaded and all of that. And I don't know why it took so long this time, but Subnautica and 7 Days to Die are just really taking forever to get processed. So, that being said, that may, if I skip or jump on this video a little bit on this recording, that is why. We're going to head back over here. That bear rug is still out in the street. Don't know why he is not decomposed. Hey, I appreciate all your support too on the polls for voting. Last I checked, I was just barely ahead by a couple votes in second place. So, I'm sure that I will not win. There are guys on there with, million subscribers and all of that. So, but it was great exposure to be on there for my small channel, and to have my channel recognized in that way, And you all were super, because there were some larger channels that did not make the cut past the first round. So I can credit that to all of you and your wonderful support. So we're almost back to the base. Drop all this stuff off, get the forges fired up again. Probably could stand to cut down this tree farm again. But we'll wait on that. If I need to, I can go around the area over where I'm building and cut some more trees again. Alright, so let's stick this in here. What do I need most? I'm going to need a lot of scrap. We can take this and stick it in there. We'll leave a couple of these out. And we're going to need a lot of steel too. So we could go ahead and take that last little bit of steel here. Make it into steel. Replenish that. This one, boy. I may need to wait on this one and just take some more iron and put it in a different forge. I hate to let that sit there, and we could be making and replenishing, but I think I might use another forge for iron. That one's the one we use for so many things. Well, we have these other 4 around the corner here. Let's do that. Let's get the iron in here. Actually, I'm gonna need clay. Oh, I bet we were out of clay. Nope, a little bit of clay. The rest of our building supplies in there too. So let's do that. Let's just stick it in there. Get that going like so. And stick our remaining bit in there. Oh, you know what? I need some more of this. Oh, I didn't mean to do a sort with the wood separated first. Okay, let's take this out. Let's put this in. Let's turn it on. My goodness, I've gone through a lot of stone. Okay. And I need to make sure I had those kicking. We could do 4 over here. Well, I tell you what, let's take this out. Let's make another 4,000 here. And then over here, I want to make sand. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Take that back with us when we go. Make sure I don't need to top off with some food and water. I do. Goldenrod tea. Tasty to the last drop. Have you had your goldenrod tea today? So I guess we are good. I thought about how much iron could we make here. 30,000 iron. Oh, phone call. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. These morning recordings, I do get phone calls from time to time, time after time, and sorry, but back, going again, heading back over to the base. So I could make 30,000 scrap iron, and we're probably going to have to do that. As a matter of fact, I really don't know why I didn't just go ahead and do that. We'll do it next time we come back. We still have a long ways to go before I finish this base. So, you know, and just to further explain why I haven't documented, you know what, we documented the snowfall base, and everything was above ground over there, except for the one pit that we went down. I don't really know how much I documented digging that pit to bedrock, that one, you know, chute that went down. And then we documented this most recent, the most recent two builds, the one that we started on the stream and the Xbox, I guess is what we called it. Those were above ground, but this one is 100% below ground. There is nothing above ground except for the outer lip ring going around the top. Everything has been dig a giant hole almost to bedrock. So like I said, I thought that most of you would probably give the old thumbs down if you tuned in to an episode full of digging. And I've gotten a lot of feedback recently that most of you do not like the time-lapse videos. And if I were to document this, it would most likely be in time-lapse form, just with so much digging and the same, you know, digging and rebarb, just over and over and over. So, yeah, that's just to explain why I have not really documented much of any of this build for you all to see. And we'll document a little bit today. As a matter of fact, now that I'm back, let me start my timer. I know we're about 15 minutes or so in. So, I need some wood. Go ahead and get some pillars out. We could go ahead and lay some pillars down. Lay some pillars down. And we may need this stone to fill in some holes that we accidentally create. And we're going to need a little gasaruski. Probably use that rifle again now too. Where's that rifle? What did I do? There it is right there. All right, let's jump down into the hole. It's pretty easy to get down into. Not much to it. All right, well, we can just cross our fingers that when I start placing these pillars that the Grand Spartan did everything that he knew to do to make this structurally sound. If not, we're going to have a quick ride to the bottom of this construction here, this structure, I guess is what I should say. I get nervous every block that I place because so much time went into creating this thing, and this lip that hangs over. I think once it's all stuck together, should be very sturdy. Should be no issues, but I always get a little nervous. I went the extra mile here to make sure that everything was structurally sound. Had a few pieces of concrete fall off, and then that's what I told you, I think last episode maybe, is that I had to dig some areas out, replace them with rebar, and upgrade it to concrete to get everything else to stick to it without falling off, because anything attached to gravel is very weak. And I didn't want to have a cop explode or something and whole thing come crashing down in the middle of a horde. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I probably should take this auger. It's right down here. We're just going to leave that one out for now. Should be good. But I'll probably have 4 ways to enter in behind this. Now, this whole system that I'm working on here with the pillars, it's not for killing. It's for repair, replacement, and a bit of looting, maybe, you know, if we have some that die in this particular area, which is very likely. But mostly it's for placement and repairs after the horde is over. We should not have to ever come up here during a horde. It would probably not be good if we did. I will upgrade everything to reinforced concrete. None of this will be steel. This will all just be concrete, so we won't need steel for that. We should not need a lot of steel outside of spikes. That's my big concern, is that we're going to run out of steel for spike. I'm going to have to go around to all my different builds, and collect all of the steel that I have stockpiled over these past few builds and put it all together and see what we're left with. All right. All right. Well, that one's done, I guess. Since we have concrete on us, sure we don't have any steel. We don't want to do that. Oh, I got the mouse ordered today. Well, so it will be here. This episode airs, and it should be here not long afterwards. So tomorrow for me, but when you're watching this, it'll be, the mouse should be here as you're watching this episode. I really, that mouse was purchased with your donations. So I really appreciate all your support here on the channel, monetary and just your support here daily, your comments, your thumbs up, you know, all of that makes just such a huge difference on the channel. Drives me to continue pushing forward with it. Hit a little slump here this past month and a half. Something happened with the whole YouTube thing and advertisers and all of that, and it really kind of hit me pretty hard. But you know, I'm going to continue doing this for a while. We're gonna keep pushing out some episodes. I've been enjoying the forest. I've been enjoying Subnautica, and I started over on Stranded Deep because I had so many cool comments from people saying, you know, different things, and so many new subscribers from doing that series. That even my nephew called me up and said, you know, hey, I really enjoy that Survivor kind of game. You know, it's kind of like the show Survivor, if you're familiar with that at all. I'm not too familiar myself, but I know what it is. But so I started over last night. Hard to imagine that I could get 4 series going at one time, but I may try to do that. You know, I may try to get 4 series going, and I don't know what kind of time I'm going to have to get all that done, but I'm going to try to get another several episodes of that recorded. If you're not familiar with the Stranded Deep series, the file became corrupted, could not load my save game anymore. What it did allow me to do, though, when I started a new game, was start on the same map that I was using before. So I found my home island that I had, you know, set up on that series and started building there again. And in just a few short days, I was able to come a long ways. Of course, when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. So this time around, I'm a lot more progressed for the short time I played. So we'll pick it back up, and we'll get an episode every couple days or so. You know, we'll upload an episode, and looks like my guy's starting to overheat a little bit here. If you can hear that wind noise in the background, that is my air conditioning unit. This room, this finished room over the garage, has central air conditioning, and it's pretty noisy. It's just one big unit for this one room. So that's not my PC. My PC is so quiet you can almost put your ear up to it and not hear it's running. You'll hear the AC turn off here in a minute, though. Oh, Spartan. Silly fool, you. So I would guess, as much work as I've put into this to get it done in such a short time, I was a little concerned when I started digging and I got down about 3 tiers and I realized how much was going to go into this when I said, boy, we're going to need to hustle to get this done in time so we don't run out of time to get it done. And can't believe I missed that. So that's why I, you know, also tried to hustle to get it done off camera. Instead of just an hour a day, we'd be here for, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks trying to finish this build. Now, where was it that I put the gap? Did I not put a gap on this one? I swear I thought I put a gap on this one. Oh, here it is. This is it right here. Well, that was a good place to stop. Okay. All right, well, guess we'll go down one more tier and start putting these in as well. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe not. Guess that was a sign from above. We only have 68 of those left anyway. I could just hop back up there and do it. Starting to look like that. Let's go ahead and upgrade those, though. Let's go ahead and upgrade those so they can be drying. There's no need for me to not upgrade those. Some of you are probably watching this going, how is this going to kill a zombie? I just don't understand it. But no one really understood how that Xbox build was going to kill a zombie either. But it worked beautifully. And Spartan always has a plan. Yeah, I was real surprised at how well that funnel system build worked. If it had not been for the free fall pits with the barbed wire around them, it may have not worked. You know, we may have been looking at a failed build. And I know some of you have talked about funnel systems and the zombies getting hung up and this and that. Well, those free fall pits with the barbed wire is the solution for that on Alpha 15. The pathing is different. They work pretty good for Alpha 13. They didn't work so well for 14, but I didn't really test the barbed wire around a free fall pit either. So I know I've had a question or two lately on an old Alpha 14 funnel system build that I did. And it looked cool and all, but it didn't work all that great. It needed some tweaking done to it. And at the time, I was pumping out a base every few days or so. You know, I was really just putting some hardcore hours into it and to base building. And so I didn't do a lot of testing and put a lot of time into some of those. So everything is dried now. Nice. Beautiful. This particular tier has an extra, so the pillars will go here, no, here, And so we have an extra bit of room to move around back here. I did not mean to do that initially. And as before I picked up the rebar frames, I said, you know what? It may be better here at the bottom. It probably would have been better all the way to the top to have done it that way. I worried about support issues, but as soon as I get this rebar or pillars put down, should support everything fine. But it's always better to have more room to move around behind pillars. In this case, we'll never be up here fighting, so we should not need the extra room. That's why there's just a one gap behind. If I were going to be up here repairing and looting and fighting zombies, we'd need a two gap. We'd need 2 blocks separating us from the pillar to stand back away from it, but there should be none of that. Okay, right here is where I noticed earlier I did not have a piece of rebar. There are 2 of these spots. Let's go ahead and replace those. Nice. We're going to do some lighting. I don't know how yet. I had a thought the other day about putting some in the walls, like 1 in each side here on these walls. But I'll have to like recess it into the wall or something, because we're not going to be able to put it on the wall or we'll bump into it, because this is our walking space right here. So I'll have to think of some creative way to do lighting. Might also put some street lights up top like we did before. Put 1 on each corner, maybe? Up in the air? I don't know. I don't know if it would light up down in here or not. But you have to remember also, this is not the base. This is the base defense. The base will sit in the center. And a couple ideas on how I'm going to do that. We'll have to see how that works out. Might play around with some rebar frames the next day or so, how I want to design that. Now, most likely I'll let you all in on that. We'll document it. We'll document the steps of building the actual base inside this pit. Heck, I thought about doing a barbed wire defense system in the middle and just, nothing but barbed wire, no base, nothing, just us standing down in the middle. But, yeah, I'll have to figure all that out. Certainly going to leave that 7, because we're minus 50 at the bottom. I'm going to leave that 7 to bedrock open and free for tunnels, because I'm going to need some tunnels to get around, to do a few things, upgrade, get around to the outer areas, and to have an entrance. We want to have an entrance as well. So before I upgrade any of this at the bottom, I want to get my wall in place. Support wall here and back wall. Now this wall could have been left stone. If you're ever going to build something similar to this, you don't have to upgrade this. I like the look of the concrete just all the way around. So that's why I chose to do it this way. We had so many resources left over from these last few bases that we've built, and still making resources, still pumping it out. So ooh, I hear a zombie. A zombie. Where you at, Mr. Zombie? Come on down. You're the next contestant on Grand Spartan's Right. That's kind of silly. Well, I don't know how much longer we'll go. I'll let you all see me finish this portion of the build out. And this is pretty much what I've been doing for hours and hours. Just dig a little bit, play some rebar. Dig a little bit, play some rebar. Dig a little bit, place a little rebar. Yep, I am a bit loopy. Bit fatigued. To all the digging and the rebar placement. Yeah, if the elevation, had I really known, I mean, I knew what I wanted to do, but had I really known what it would look like going down, I would have started on an elevated position and done like 2 or 3 more tiers so that the inner spot would only be like, a little bigger than something like this. We just have this little spot in the center and make it just smaller and smaller and smaller. All the way down, because I like the way that looks. I like that it is gradually getting smaller and smaller. So if you looked at it from up top, it looked pretty cool. So we're almost done here. Before I nail anything down, let me make sure. I may still go one more tier down. Because this is such a big open space. The base that I had in mind for the center is not going to need to be very large. So we may go one more tier in. Tell you what, let's just upgrade this bottom one first. That's where everything's going to attach. Get that drying. That was another thing that was a bit monotonous and probably why I didn't want to share it. In order for me to dig out up underneath this, so I have to upgrade this and then let it dry. And it doesn't take a whole long time to dry, but in order to get to the next step, this has to dry because I'm about to attach some frames to it. And I'll show you exactly how I did what I did right here, right now. This would be how I would progress on to the next tier down. Alright, so we did that. And then I'm going to go out here. I look up here because I want to go one beyond where that is at. And that's one beyond right there. So same thing on this side. Just want to make sure you're one beyond. And then that's it. And then now that I have my corner. Now that I have my corner right here, I would dig down 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We go to all the corners and we dig down 3 and start our next tier. And that's what I've done from the top all the way down. It's very simple to do what I've done. Just time consuming. And it really hasn't been that time consuming because all of the hole that you see here gets collapsed. Every 2 tiers I've been collapsing. So I've not had to dig all that out. All I have to do is dig a trench around the outside like that and then collapse the center. Every single time I've not dug any of the center out. Now I lose a lot of resources like that. I probably should have about 6 more chests up there full of stone and iron, but yeah, we're good. We're good on resources, and I've gotten enough just from digging what I've dug. But I just, like I said, I just dig one trench around every area. You watched me do it on a few episodes ago. You watched me do maybe part of a tier or something like that. Just do that collapse and minimal amount of digging. So our pillar will go here. This is our hallway back here to walk around in. So I really might, we finish up this episode. I may take the time. Of course, our horde day is rapidly approaching too. So let's see, our last horde was 238, so 245 would be our next horde. That is tomorrow. So we'll have a full day between now and horde day. probably tomorrow's episode is primarily going to be us upgrading. Oh boy, I didn't finish that out. It's going to be primarily upgrading the wooden house. Putting some spikes down. Matter of fact, I should probably be creating some spikes right now. They take so long to create. We're not going to go too crazy with the spikes because it's going to most likely be a small house. I'm not going to choose a very big house. Someone said a luxury house, but you know, I think it's a little too tough. They couldn't even really take down one of those wooden houses last time for whatever reason. So we'll stick to something small, something we know they're just going to demolish it and chew it to the ground. May actually put some spikes around the outer band of the house. We didn't really do that last time. That way, when the cops get close to it, they'll be right at the point of exploding. You know, we either have to act fast or they're going to explode. And you saw what they did in that hotel horde when they exploded. Just standard walls and all of that. They turn it into a frame, and then that's like a 1 or a 2 shot, and it's done. It's gone away. There. We are there. Nice. Well, let's count this out real quick before I talk about doing another tier. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Huh. 13 plus the 3 going to the other side. Let's make sure it's the same both ways. It absolutely should be, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 14, 15, 16 to the wall, you know, but we're not counting that. So, I'll just have to plan something cool out. I have an idea, something I want to do here. So we may leave this open for... Matter of fact, I might do one more tier here. Or 2. Might do 2. So, because that would leave us with an even number right here. See if we only did that, then we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, that's right. That's right. All right. So that may be good. May be enough to do what I want to do. So let's see. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you hanging with me today. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I hope you enjoyed this building aspect of the game as much as I do. And but I felt like I wanted to share some of this building process with you. So I don't just pop on one day and have this thing completed and you're like, well, you didn't show any of it. You know, I want to show some of it. We showed a little bit of the beginning. Here's a bit of the middle. And after the horde tomorrow, I don't know if we'll get the horde tomorrow or not. We'll be upgrading the house tomorrow. But after we finish that horde, then we'll come back over here and I'll share the building process with you of what I'll do in the center. Right now, I only have a few in-game hours to build before we need to start tomorrow's episode and upgrade that house and have enough time to do it. So, anyway, I thank you for watching. To tell you what we can do. Now, that's not even going to get us to the top if we do that, but Only have 48. Well, we use the wood frames. How about that? Try not to fall off and break my leg. You noticed the whole episode and no broken leg? It's because I made a stair system here to get down. That's what it's all about right there, ladies and gentlemen. Grand Spartan not breaking his leg. Yes. So it looks a little something like that if we look down into it. Let's look down into it. Should I jump off? Should I jump off? Oh, no, I'm just joking with you. I'm not going to jump off. No broken legs in this episode. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a good day, good evening, wherever you may be located. And I'll see you all tomorrow.